How much is per head for a buffet line void deck wedding?
$25 per bags.
Not cheap leh!
When I go to Malay weddings, everyone like, I can't wait for the food. We don't talk about the ang pao. We want to celebrate you and we want to eat.
I guess at the end of the day, it's your intention. Is it really to bring your families together, or it's a show, right? I want to show people that this is how much I can afford.
Hi, welcome back to Pantang, where we talk about things that sometimes people are slightly afraid to talk about, but here we're not. I'm Azura.
And I'm Fauzi, and today we're going to talk about weddings,
Oh, no.
which are supposed to be about love, but why do they come with so much stress, money, drama, and family tension?
That's right, because what happens if you don't want to invite 1,000 people to your wedding, but your parents insist? Then who pays?
Alamak. And
Aw.
if we don't agree with the dowry amount, then do we call off the wedding?
10 cows. I want 10 cows.
10 cows.
And to chat with us about this today, we've got Ella from Vynella Events, as well as Afrah, who's our big sister online about all things wedding.
Here at Pantang, we let the cards guide our conversation. So are we ready for the first one? Let's go.
Let's start with the first card. Is a wedding a personal celebration, a family obligation, or both? Let's start with Afrah, right? I think you've had a wedding. Tell us, in the planning of your wedding, what is the drama?
Which wedding you want to talk about? The first one or the second one? Because
She has 2 weddings.
girl, let me tell you, there's different kinds of dramas because of the different people involved, and the purpose of each wedding was different also. A lot of people involved in planning the wedding, right? It can get a bit messy. It gets kind of blurry, like, hey, is this like a project or is this my wedding?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, if you're not chipping in any money, you don't get to talk. Yeah. I think it's really, really important that you and your partner don't have this clash, because it's your wedding, you know, ultimately. You're going to look back and not be like, oh, did my mom like the wedding or not? Yeah, more than I did. No, it's not about that. Make it as memorable as you can and within your terms lah, I feel.
I think most people start the planning thinking that, but along the way, they find themselves in positions where they need to compromise, they need to argue. Yes, so you seem to have a lot of experience in this. Ella, tell us, you know, what you've seen. And when someone starts planning a wedding, right, do you think it's more of a status game? Or is it a celebration of love like it's supposed to be?
Well, actually, a lot of couples feel that this is their wedding and everything has to go their way, right? But at the essence of it, a wedding actually encompasses like 2 families coming together. So even though you think that it is your celebration, parents generally want to have a say in something, because it's not just your guest list, it's also parents' guest list. It actually can be a status game. Everybody or parents, couples, they want to have the best wedding, the grandest decor, the luxurious food spread, you know, big spaces. But at the essence of it, does your budget permit you to actually have it that way, right? People want to have like Pinterest-worthy weddings. Yeah, but do they have the capacity to do that? And sometimes the planning process only begins 6 months prior to the wedding. In the past, it was like 2 years before the wedding planning process has started, and that gives them a bit more time to save up. But now when planning process gets shorter, which means you have that limited time to actually save up your wedding. So do what you want actually equate to what you actually have? And sometimes they feel like, oh, because my relative did this, I also want to do this.
I have to say, I feel like in our generation, right, there's more of us putting our foot down on what we want. Like, I feel like on Instagram, they are still like Pinterest worthy and all. However, they are a bit more intimate. On TikTok as well, not only myself, more people are sharing about how they held their own intimate weddings and how they themselves navigate planning the weddings with like expectations from parents. Like, for example, speaking from my own experience, like my mom wanted certain things because she's like, how can? You are my daughter. You have to do this.
What did you want?
Oh, Samra. Okay, Samra is the Arabic dance. Yeah, the segment. Yes, I would have that, but it's not a need. You know, I already have the kompang. So like what you guys said, there was some compromise already. I'm like, okay, you know, I still want to respect certain traditions from the family, but these are purely cultural. it's not like an obligation, and I still want it to look like my wedding. Even family, maybe 8 months, I've never spoken to them. But, because they are respected, so, they have to be there. Then, okay, we just have to compromise on some, like the guest list and some of the vendors during the wedding. It's really important to put your foot down lah. Yeah, if it's, especially if it's beyond the budget. They want to show, my anak I punya wedding is so grand, we have this, we have that, we have this. So I think if you look at it in the bigger picture and you realize actually it's more for that reason, I believe it's easier to put your foot down and be like, maybe we don't need to have that lah.
I mean, practically now, it sounds like you're an events planner now. Because like it feels a bit like that because you are planning the people who come, and then you're also planning for yourself what you wear,
correct,
and all these things. And that's why, Ella, you come in, right? How do you manage all this? Will there be some instances where people have ridiculous requests?
I do. I've met them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What they want?
Alamak, I want to hear. Yeah, what they want? Come, let's shit up.
Well, sometimes they have a big space, right? So they want like the ceilings to be fully decorated with flowers, and then their inspos come from decorations from overseas. Of course, we've seen like a lot of weddings overseas that has very extravagant decor. But can we do it in Singapore? It's a question because, to be honest, in Singapore, the venue only permits us a certain hours before the wedding to get the wedding started. Some places we only have 3 hours. 3 hours before the wedding to get everything done. Yeah, so that sets the limitation for us. I've also had parents and couples who argue in front of me, like, I want this, but I want that. And then they start being sour with each other. And then I become like the counselor suddenly, right?
Alamak, I have to charge more this one.
Yeah, but I guess at the end of it all, because it's supposed to be a happy celebration, it's really not worth it, like burning bridges because of one day, We want to walk away with everyone happy. Your non-negotiables, you keep. Right? But things that you think are a little bit something that you can let go, let your parents have it their way.
What are some very common things that people always argue about or can't seem to reach an agreement about?
It's usually the customs and practices. Yeah.
Okay.
Certain things like sirih dara must have or not, bunga telur, like these are the things in the couple's eyes. Why do I need to have this? I mean, like the thing is just put it next to my chair and then nobody uses it, it's just there. And then sometimes they feel like, it disturbs the aesthetic of the dais on its own. Parents see the reason behind it, the symbol of that. For example, like Salam Restu, right? Salam Restu on its own, it's like where couples actually get blessings from their parents. They kneel down, ask for forgiveness, blessings from their parents. Sometimes couples feel like, this 15 minutes takes a bit of my itinerary. I have to spare that 15 minutes just to do this. Yeah, but what they need to understand is the meaning behind it. It's not just another ritual. There's values that comes with it, commitment, respect, understanding, mutual understanding. Yeah, I think that's what makes it different, because once couple understand the reason why these things are there, then they will understand, maybe I could possibly close one eye and just have it.
Do you think social media has pressured people into this dream wedding or this, fresh flowers, this...
Alamak.
Yeah.
I want to add on that also, because before this episode, I was going through online. I was like, okay, weddings in Singapore. It's so extravagant. I'm pretty sure you do your research. I want my wedding to be like this. Sayang, I want my wedding like this lah. Can you,
Expose.
Expose, yeah. So I can only imagine the stress.
Even before like the wedding, the planning and all, where do we go to? Of course, social media. Now there's so many interesting things. 10 years ago, where got flower booth lah, all these that guests can pick and bring home, And now they have those life-size doll boxes that you can take pictures in, and they have the names of the couple. It's like a red carpet even, weddings nowadays. It's really, really different from back then. And of course, it pressures you like, am I supposed to have all this like va-va-voom? And of course, all this is from social media. I won't say I was pressured, but I was inspired because personally, my own personal choice, I wanted to have a big wedding. Growing up and, being in an Arab family, we love big celebrations and you have to invite the whole clan. And really the family, we will go to each table and talk to you and like ask how you are doing. I love parties. Even for my own birthdays, I always have chalets and all that. My own wedding, I needed my guests to have something to do. You know, even at the recent weddings that I'm going to now, there's like vintage cameras on the table. There's a balance of people like me where we want these things already. But I do feel that there are some people who may see all this and feel pressured to have extra activities in the wedding lah.
Ella, what are more common inspos that people are coming to you with now?
Actually, for me, right, it's also a game changer with like social media and Pinterest and everything that people are
You
saying
need to know
online.
what's online
I
as
need
well.
to know what's on trend, right?
Yeah.
Because they're coming to me with all these sort of ideas. At the end of the day, I always tell them, what's priority for you? Okay, is it the budget that is the priority, right? Is spending within your budget? Well, some people feel that it is the guest experience. For some people, it's really just having a lot of people, families coming together. Because the last time they had a family wedding was like years ago. Yeah, and then they need to invite like 1,000 people. So with a bigger guest list, then of course the budget just expands by a lot. So then they have to cut down on things that they actually want, but go for things that they need.
We'll move on to card 2.
Let's go.
That says, how do we navigate expectations from parents and in-laws? Afrah, in your experience during the planning, what were certain things that, individual families, wanted, insisted on, that you sort of had to like find a common ground?
The first one was combined.
Okay.
And then my second one was purely my side.
Okay.
My father's side specifically, which is
What
why
is
it
the
was
reason for these 2 weddings?
So my late dad is Arwah Amansyah, who is a Malaysian singer, and my parents have been divorced since I was a baby. So I wanted to, of course, eratkan silaturahim, and I want to have the wedding in Malaysia just to celebrate with his side of the family as well. For the Singapore side, we nikat in Singapore in the morning of Singapore, and then we had the sanding as well. So I think this is pretty sensitive and tricky, especially if both family come from very different socio-economic backgrounds and financial status. When you have a combined wedding, it gets very tricky to plan what we want during the sanding.
This is saying that the families are paying for the wedding and not the couple.
Not exactly paying, but we want to hear their opinions lah.
But who is paying?
The couple lah.
Okay.
the couple.
Okay.
Mostly, I would
Entirely
say.
no, right?
Entirely no, but
Okay.
there's some gift bags, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And maybe the gift bags are different sized, I hope everyone gets what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah. So then after that, it's like, it becomes a stressful thing. Alamak, now we have to consider these things and like we don't want to affect anybody's feelings. My husband and I, we sit down and we really discuss what we want and what is a give in to both sides of the family. Maybe some things they have been doing for like literally everyone's weddings. If ours tak buat is like, really millennial, like, you want to do your own thing, don't have this. And like you said, then we dive deep into it. Okay, actually, why is this so important to them? Okay, like for example, my mom really likes hadang. Okay, like the question. So I found it really important, man. It's just like entertainment. To me, it's entertainment. And then she's like, no, you have to. It shows this, it shows that. So I sat down and then I asked some of my other friends who had it as well, do you have regrets having it or not? And like actually all of them, they said they were happy that they compromised certain things to their parents, because not only it made them happy, you could see like the older people that attended the wedding, they really enjoyed themselves. And it's something they are used to also. It's like ambil hati sikit, Like I think it's good to give in to some things, especially if you understand what it's for.
But how do you negotiate and how do you like nicely reject people then?
You just be honest lah, and it just come clean. Don't say you will do it, and then at the end they realize you don't do it, and then this will cause problems. Lagipun Singaporean wedding, like you said, 3 to 4 hours. You can't fit everything in the schedule. So there's so many things to a point for. Once you explain this to the family members, then they understand. They are more understanding.
I believe that if you're about to throw a wedding, if you're going to hold a wedding, then you should be ready to spend that money. A lot of talk online is going on about, how much ang bao should I give? I should be giving a certain amount. Why am I, as a guest, expected to give a certain amount.
Yeah, very stressful.
Correct.
sometimes, I
And
feel
then there was this one video that I saw which I really agreed with, which was, okay, you want to hold a wedding. I never asked you to go and do it at a 5-star hotel. I never asked you to do it at an expensive restaurant. You wanted to. So why am I covering your costs?
That shouldn't be the case. That shouldn't be the case. I'm just specifically saying about the Malay weddings. In the past, it's like both sides of families holds different receptions. Like the groom will hold their own family reception, the bride will hold their family reception. But I guess post-COVID, it's been like a combined wedding has been like a norm. So instead of celebrating like 1,000, it's like now collapsed to like 350. Yeah. So with a smaller guest list, sometimes people have bigger budget to spend because it's essentially divided, right? The cost, like the bridal photography, it's all divided between two sides of the families. To be honest, in a Malay wedding context, it isn't really about getting what you paid for. There's this form of like ikhlas, I throw the wedding just to feed people, just to bring people together. I feel at the end of the day, it's not really about how much money they get back, but it's actually seeing their families, or to be honest, like having their families say, oh, it's such a beautiful wedding. Yeah, the food spread is so good. Like it's something that they will remember for the rest of their lives.
I feel like in a Malay wedding context, right, like beyond money is the food. It's always been about the food.
Now.
My stomach is grumbling. To be honest.
Have a few recommendations, share. Like, I feel like when I go to Malay weddings, everyone like, I can't wait for the food. Biryani dia sedap ke tak? It's not about how much should we give nanti. We don't talk about the angpao. It's like so secondary. We are just here. We want to celebrate you and we want to eat. So if like even for myself and my husband, the food was number one priority. Yeah, for me and the guest experience.
I see.
You know what I miss?
What?
Void deck wedding.
Now have again.
What happened? Where?
Now have again.
Oh, have again.
Have.
Invite me. Please invite me.
Actually, invite me so.
It's been a while because it's always either at hotels or event venues. Right? Now, there's a lot of that now. So I do miss void deck weddings. I wonder if void deck weddings are a little bit different for events. Because does that mean I don't need to care how many people there are?
Actually, void deck weddings is you have the void deck for the whole day. That is actually the main difference. Because when you hold it in a hotel, right, it's only a 4-hour block, right? Yeah, when you book a void deck space, you have the space for 12 hours. Sometimes they even book it for 2 days.
Yeah.
That's where you actually see people like go to royo, put their berkats together under the void deck. That atmosphere is not something that you can get in a hotel because the wedding is, for example, on a lunch block that's like 11 to 3, for example. So you chop, have your nikah, get people to eat, and then
Feels very rushed.
Yeah, that's the main difference. To be honest, right, the budget can actually sometimes be the same. Because because when you host it in a void deck, then you would want to invite everybody, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
Probably like the cost of spending 1,000 packs in a void deck would be equivalent to probably having 200 packs at a hotel.
People have the conception or misconception that, void deck wedding is obviously a lot cheaper. And we have just mentioned that sometimes it adds up to about same. Tell us right now, roughly, a range of how much it is per head for a buffet line void deck wedding. Because I know it's not cheap, but people always think it's cheap. Just food, and let's talk about like a good spread.
Okay, how many packs?
1,000 lah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we've been talking about 1,000, right?
1,000? $25 per packs.
Not cheap leh.
Just the food,
Just the food.
Well, to be honest, it also comes with the table for the food, the skirting for the table and everything, right? Yeah, because it's really a blank space at the void deck. I guess at the end of the day, it's your intention, right? Like, what is your intention of holding this celebration? Is it really to bring your families together, celebrating with everyone, the celebration of two love, two families coming together, or it's a show, right? I want to show people that this is how much I can afford. Yeah, so it's really the intention at the end of it all.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Let's move on to question 3.
I want to see what's the next question. Let's go.
What are some ways that people can save on weddings?
Essentially, the main budget from the wedding comes from the catering, the venue, and also probably the decor. Probably the way to work within your budget will be limiting your guest count, because the guest count will play a big role in how much you spend for your wedding. There are things that cannot be compromised, right? I mean, you do need a space, but the space also comes with the number of people that you're inviting. Yeah. So at the end of it all, if let's say you have this amount of budget and you have this number of packs that you need to invite, right? You need to probably compromise on certain other things.
So when we're talking about limiting guests, right, I think a lot of times, not all the time, but the number usually goes up from your parents. How do you best navigate a situation where your parents insist on a certain number of head count and they don't want to bring it down and they're inviting like their cousin's neighbor or something, you know?
For me personally, I had this issue.
Okay.
I was the first one to get married out of my siblings. So my mom was like so excited and it's her first time. Yeah, and like yes, like you said, it's valid. But then at the end of the day, most of the budget came from myself and my husband. So I had to like tell her like I really want people that I know and I want these people to celebrate with us because they know us. And then she understood but of course I compromised. I gave her like 4 tables. I'm like, you can choose whoever you want, but I need to know who they are and why they are important to be here.
On the flip side, I had about a 2,000 packs wedding.
Okay.
For myself, yes.
Your wedding?
My own wedding, yes.
2,000 packs.
Yes, 1,008 to be exact. When I was at the dais, I didn't know almost everyone. I'm just like smiling and like, okay, just looking pretty, but I don't know most of them.
Now when you work with your clients who are moving towards smaller weddings, did you wish you had it?
Actually, a part of me, no. I saw how happy my parents were on that day. Yeah, because they could invite everybody that they knew, right? Even their kampung friends, their colleagues. I guess at the end of it, I mean, I'm happily married, right? So, but I also want my family to be happy. Yeah, so yeah, it's a win-win, right? Yeah.
Sweet
Sure, that's very sweet. That's very sweet. I want to bring up something.
Yes.
I saw something on social media. It was a street interview.
Okay.
And the question was, should the guy or the girl pay more? And then the comments were saying, oh, the girl should pay more because she has all the makeup, fancy makeup, and she wants this and that, and she wears some more expensive clothes. What
Then you don't get married lah. Not your wedding, is it?
Very that I was talking. Like, the audacity, like, you know, you want to get married, it's supposed to be both of you who think the work,
Tired
isn't
of
it?
all of you though. Tired.
Yeah. Generally, obviously, we all have the same senses lah.
I mean, it's a compromise lah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like you are spending more.
Yeah.
Your dress is more expensive,
Yeah.
you pay
Then
more.
there's a problem in your relationship there that goes beyond the wedding.
Correct.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, Afrah, you do TikTok videos, you know, on budgeting, on saving money and all that. We saw your template, got Excel sheet.
Excel sheet some more.
Okay, so can you tell us, you know, certain things that people can do to save money on a wedding?
So some tips I can give at the top of my head is, number one, please cap your transport. Yeah, like for example, I think if you take a look at how much money you spend on your Grab, your Gojek and all this, you'll be surprised in a month, actually, this is how much you're spending, you know. So if you consciously cut that down, you'll actually be saving a lot of money. And I think if you do have a certain, really, I'm teaching you how to save. You have to learn how to say no to certain outings. Sometimes if your friends are asking you to like meet up at this fancy new cafe or event, and if like each bowl is 25 and above, you have to be disciplined lah. You don't have to feel FOMO. This is about your wedding. You know, you have to be disciplined and like cut down on certain outings and really save that extra cash. Because it's not only about the outing and the food that you're going to spend. You're going to have transport to go back home also after that and going there. Actually, that whole day of going out with your friends can add up to 3 digits, you know? So,
Right,
yeah. As a professional freelancer, I knew that I had to take even more jobs. So I purposely made myself more out there so that I can earn a bit more to save up for the wedding. So I feel like transport is number one. Save on the transport. Number two, you have to be disciplined and learn to say no to certain outings. Number three, if you have an Excel sheet, write down what are the non-negotiables of your wedding. Like bridal, how much you want to spend, cap. Food, how much you want to spend, cap. Photo, video, how much spend, cap. So when you're going to meet the vendors and all, and when they have their packages ready for you, you see whether it's valuable or not and matches your budget. You know, and okay, if it's slightly above your budget, right, is it macam reasonable and valuable tak to add that extra like 1,000 or what? Once you have the Excel sheet, right, you will see your total spending for the wedding. So there's no surprises or shocks later on or disappointments. Like, but I really want this. Oh, but you already set aside only 12K for that. So if you say yes to all the vendors, suddenly now your wedding is 80. But if you have the Excel sheet, it's very easy. Once you've decided on the vendors you want, quickly input into your Excel sheet. Then after that, let it total up for you. Then you can see, as of now, we are spending this much for the wedding. Should we cut down certain things? That's what my husband and I did.
Because I think a lot of couples, they see the numbers first, right? Like, this is a number, okay, this is within my budget. But they don't really see the details of what's included in that package. Yeah, sometimes like, the price is reasonable, it's okay, it's cheap. But actually at the end of it, they realize there's only like 5 items in the food menu.
So in the breakdown of like wedding expenses, we have venue, catering, outfits, like photography and everything. What are the top 3 most expensive items? And then what are the items that we can say, okay, we can close one eye and not have it?
I guess venue is first, and then food.
Food? After venue?
Food,
Okay.
yeah. And I guess the styling of the space.
Style. The decor.
I think for me, right, I had different priorities. So for me, definitely venue number 1. Like, that's where it's going to be held. Okay. Number 2 for me, because I really want to remember the day and I have to be able to see it clearly. So my photo and video was number 2.
Those were very important to you.
Yes,
okay.
I was willing to spend more there. Yeah, because I've seen so many horror stories of people not receiving their photos, or it's your venue lah, that's why the photo is bad. No, don't blame the couple, Yeah. So I was very particular on the photography and videography. And then number 3 was actually my outfits. Because we're going to be wearing them. So I was willing to invest in these 3 things.
I guess it's the priority. Like, what is your priority and where do you want to actually park your money at?
Speaking about that, right, how people are willing to spend, on a day because it's their dream, because it's going to happen one time in their life. But are expensive weddings really worth it? Especially if the marriage doesn't last. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't know whether it's going to last, ma.
I mean, of course, everyone gets married hoping they will last forever, right? Yeah. And even if it didn't last, for that particular moment that it happened, it was important to the couple. Of course, in the wedding business, I would say if you can spend more, I'm happier, right? Yeah, but I am also practical in the sense that I want them to spend something that is within their means.
Yes. You don't want them to suffer, of course.
Yeah. I mean, yes, of course. Because like I mentioned, right, it's a start of the journey together. And with my couples, after their wedding, I always still have a good relationship with them. I mean, I will still keep in touch, even after like they have children, they still call me to do their
baby showers. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not just like I take your money once and goodbye. I'm happy with what you're giving me. No, it's not. It's a relationship that we have. Yeah, because along the way in these 2 years, I think we built quite a good relationship together. And I also want them to feel happy with the money that they're parting with.
There has been so many insightful things today, as if I'm the one who wants to go and get married. But at least now I know.
Yeah, now you know.
Now I know. I will email you guys if I need anything.
Budgeting and event planner. Let's go.
Correct.
As the saying goes, when you get married, you're not only marrying a partner, but you're marrying the entire family as well, right?
Yes, and we hope that this episode has helped you guys navigate some situations that you might be facing. But of course, everyone's situation is different lah.
That's right.
Depending on your expectations and everything. But more importantly, just marry the right one lah.
Correct. As best as you can lah. I mean, nobody really knows, right? But as best
Cannot
as
see
you
the
can
future lah. Yeah.
Correct. Afrah and Ella, thank you so
Thank you
much.
for having
we
us.
learned so much today.
So much.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you in the next episode of Pantang.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.